What's up, creators? Jonathan here. Today, I've been working. I'm getting to the end of my horn build. I don't know if you can see it. Actually, you cannot, but I'll bring it. I've been working on this this Klipsch horn this week, and I've been replacing this university horn driver with a JBL 175 that I've reconditioned. The diaphragm, the internal diaphragm was good. It was just dirty. The whole inside of it was dirty. I removed the, there was a screen. I removed the screen out of it, protecting bugs and stuff. I don't really see bugs around, so I took the bugs cleaner thing out. This kind of looks like that would bother me, knowing that there's something in between my ears, you know, and say, just dropped a record. Anyways, King Louis singing to me about wearing a smile. So I wanted to put this on my Klipsch horn, and as I've been, I had to mill or route this with some Ryobi tools, and I did not prepare for this video, but I'm gonna get the things and show them to you. But you know what? Maybe that's another video. Fuck it. Anyways, I made a mate. This university one that was stuck on the back of the, with this little flange. It had a spin-on mount because the university had a thread, and the so this bolted onto here, and then that would thread the driver on. But the JBL, it doesn't have threads, it has screws. So I had to route a piece of plywood, and then I had to make a mating piece of plywood that will bolt this part on so that I can mate all of it together, and it'll do something like that. So I was getting to the end of it, and I don't know if you saw me struggling a little bit between this one and this one. This one's heavier. I broke out the scale, and I've got a couple scales. This was my most fanciest scale I bought for balancing engine components when I was balancing pistons and rods. But it only goes up to 5 pounds. This one is 4 pounds, roughly four pounds. And the JBL, I had to break out my vintage scale that I weigh myself with, and it basically says that the JBL is like 8.5, close to 9 pounds. So twice the weight. This horn is fiberglass and wood construction. The mounting leg for the rear part of the horn sits like this on this little leg. And honestly, I don't think that there's going to be a problem. This is steel. I mean, if there is a problem, it'll probably be the wood that'll break. the mating of the wood. I don't think the ply is going to come apart. I mean, I'll show you at the end, but long story short, it basically is now a shot to hold through. And why am I upgrading this? If I had to guess, I'd say this is probably Alnico as well. But as it's 4 pounds and this is 8 to 9 pounds, I know that means my magnet on the JBL is going to be heavier, bigger, stronger. Even if the casing is like cast instead of stamped steel, cast aluminum, could be, you know, an extra pound and a half or something like that. But it still reasons to me that if this is 4 pounds and it's like half a pound for this chassis, that's like a 3-pound magnet. That tells me that this is going to be something like a 5-pound magnet. So that's going to be more control over a diaphragm, and thus I'm guessing they're both Alnico. I have listened to this one for decades and this was fine. I didn't hear anything wrong with it. It's just when you start getting infatuated with JBL and you start going, oh wow, I need to build JBL speaker systems because they're cool. You end up going, oh, look at this part. Oh, look at this part. And then I don't want to go around the shop and show you all my parts. If you see the other videos, you probably know JBL parts are here. It's nice to be playing with heavier qualities or, you know, more commitment to sound reproduction. There's a financial difference. I want to say on eBay today, these are like $50 to $100, and these are, the JBLs are like 200. I think I paid 200 off Craigslist for this one, and then I did work to clean it up, do some painting and polishing and soldering. I put in different wires inside. I took out the 1970s wire, which was, I don't know what the hell it was, but it wasn't nice. It wasn't what we play with today. Today we play with high purity copper with a silver wash and Teflon, NASA grade wire, not even going into solid core silver, just our normal hookup wire today, compared to this 50s, 60s, you know, from the beginning of audio, say, you know, in the 20s. It's different. It's quicker, it's faster, it's more pure, there's less, I don't know, it's just nicer. Anywho, I like this rebuild that I did. It's in the $300 to $400 range as it sits. Tested, painted with this like thing. This took me a whole frickin' day to router, measure up all my holes, and this was not done with CAD. This was done with rulers and pencils, and thankfully I didn't make any errors, so it all went together. I only did 2 pieces of wood. That was nice. Sometimes when you do things, you make shit, and then you have to go, ah, and then you throw that shit in the trash, and you lose all of your money that you spent to buy all of the parts, and you learn. And then you get to a place where you make something with centered holes, and all the holes line up, and you know, you do it the first time, and that feels good, and you go, oh, that's what all of that experience affords me. Today, I don't make as many errors as I made on my path to today. Anywho, I think the long story short of this video is that I reached a place, it's Friday, and I reached a place where I wanted to say something to my channel, and I realize it's mainly me, but I felt kind of fun that I was doubling the weight and hoping to not bend this little leg that will be supporting the back. There's 3 mounts. There's 2 mounts on the front corners, so it's like a triangle, and then this part goes on the back and it mounts to this part here, and then there's a leg at the beginning. This leg, and I'm hoping not to bend it by increasing the hang of this driver versus this driver. Never felt like this was an issue at all, so this is like perfect for this, but I'm now upgrading this power. Or this weight, this downforce power, weight, gravity on this leg, and I'm just wanting to listen to music at this point. It's been a while to rebuild the driver, to make the mounting flanges, and then I also did a match porting thing where the wave guide, this is a wave guide, there's a sonic wave, this is a wave guide, just like radio frequency wave guides, or any kind of volume wave guide, like a manifold mate from a carburetor to a head. All those junctions from the base of a carburetor going into, say, a manifold going to the head of an engine is like a throat, or like a, if you can imagine a trumpet as it operates. If there's big steps and gaps, it creates oscillations in the waveform. If things bounce, if things are dragged on the walls. So I took a file and I cleaned up, I wasn't totally aggressive, but this was cast, just a cast aluminum thing. I did a little bit of polishing and sanding and just tried to make this more organic of a surface. And there's another thing that I've been playing with horns, wood horns. This one obviously is a plywood supported fiberglass mouth, and it goes through an aluminum mouth. So you can imagine if you are playing with a horn, maybe you've never played with horns, but I've played with horns. And when you play with a brass horn, that sounds one way. When you play with a wood horn, that sounds different. And then composite horns, metal horns, they all, when I say metal, I mean like aluminum, cast aluminum horns, like in the Altex. Altec made some famous horns. I don't want to be quoting numbers and getting them wrong here, but anyways, there's some 811s, I believe, 811 alphas or something like that I have owned, and they sucked. They rang. You would be listening to it and there was this overall, like, what the fuck is that sound happening? Like, why? It's supposed to be milky right now, and why is it shrill? And people try and do things to that, like put tar on the back of it to dampen it, but the metal rings. Like I said, I did not find any problem with this metal to metal to metal to fiberglass sound before. It wasn't like the best sounds that I'd ever heard, but it was not, I wasn't like mad at it. So now, as I'm going from Alnico magnet through a wood, and I'm leaving this untreated, the wood is just bare. So it's gonna, and for as much as I've made them centered, there is rounding on each edge. So there's like ribs in this waveguide here. The wood has ribs. So as much as I've done this nice smoothing of this aluminum, there is ribbing. And perhaps if I had done this on a CNC with 13 ply Baltic birch, I could have netted better results, and maybe I'll do that later. But for now, as I'm making this for my new bedroom system, I kind of wanted to finish this horn up. And there's a base horn that goes underneath it. It's not just, I'm not just listening to the top horn. This is the top part. And then I have some JBL 075s that I've rebuilt. Same thing, cleaning up, wiring, solder, silver solder, polishing, just making them ready to sing again. So this and this 175, the 075 and the 175, and then a Stevens, I've got a Stevens True Sonic 15 in the bass horn. This one is actually going into this system with the baby blue cabinets. That's another video, but I am hunting eBay right now for a single 075. And there's some variants. There's one with a different lens on the front. I might do one of those. It depends on what I can find. I like looking for rare things. When I find something rare, I like to love on it and make it special and hold it up and cherish it. Anyways, yeah, so right now I just finished rewiring the base cab. This is gonna be done today. I think I am gonna clear coat. There is a coating here from an old idea that I was doing with this plywood. I salvaged this plywood out of my wood pile. So these two mates are actually painted, and then it's wood on the other side with a cork gasket, and then there won't be any cork gaskets on this side. Yeah, it's gonna sing. I'm gonna be fine for my critical listening of this mono corner horn. I don't think I'm gonna hear any difference. It's sort of like, you know, having a 1,000 horsepower motor with a, 65 mile an hour speed limit. It's kind of like that. I'm hoping that from 0 to 65, which is all, I'll be able to play with here, I'm hoping it's just pure and simple versus being strained. That's really it. In hi-fi, you try and get gear, or this is my comment, or my current belief, is that you're not trying to get a small thing that can do a big thing. You're trying to get a big thing and then ask it to do very little, and then it's like, it's such an easy job, it just does it effortlessly. And that's what anyone wants, I would imagine, is to have effortless enjoyment. So to do that, you kind of have to clobber the desire with the best quality, all these hours of preparation, so that when you drop the needle on the record, it's nothing is being asked to do too much. You say, hey, can you put on this pretty dress and join me to dinner? And it's like, that's pretty freaking simple. Anywho, enough about me. Yeah. I think that's the end of this video, and it's nearly 20 minutes. Wow, like that. All right, creators, you have fun, and remember, all those failures, they result in ease later. Thanks a lot. Enjoy. Oh, like and subscribe. And check out my other channels. I have a band called the Milliwatts with my 2 sons. All right.